I wanted to point out that immediately after the EU vote back in 2016, the SNP were calling for a referendum back then. I mean, this is actually something that's not particularly new.
Yes. Well, it's their raison d'etre. I think we all forget that sometimes south of the border. SNP might be the party of government in Holyrood, but it exists to pursue Scottish independence.
Of course, yes. I mean, I don't understand that. But at the same time, we only had a vote in 2014. In the 2017 general election, actually, the SNP were pushing this pretty hard, and they lost about 30% of their seats on it.
Yes, but I don't know if you missed a little bit of the introduction. This entire question is contingent upon a no-deal Brexit happening, which changes everything. Yeah,
I mean, I do understand that, but again, I'm confused by this because only about 9% of Scottish businesses actually export to the EU. So we have to think really carefully.
I need to clarify that for you, because this is a figure that I've heard been doing the rounds with a lot of anti-EU people. It doesn't matter what percentage of businesses export to the EU. You need to look at what percentage of exports go to the EU. So it's a relatively small number of companies doing the massive majority of business. So 9% of companies export to the EU. What percentage of exports go to the EU?
Well, the figure I was actually quoting to you, the fine detail on it, I don't actually have.
Yeah, but think about how important this fine detail is, David, because someone sold you a pup here, mate. 9%. What if there's only one business? You see, 9% of businesses export to the EU, but in the context of the UK, it's about 80% of exports, or between 60, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's well over 50%. So that 9% figure is not only meaningless, it's dangerously ignorant.
No. I mean, I do understand all that. I mean, I'm not coming...
So then tell me what percentage of exports go to the EU from Scotland, including, of course, at the moment, England.
Sorry, I missed the question. Say that again.
What percentage of Scottish exports go to the EU?
Well, all I have here is a
that's
figure.
Why they've only given you, because wherever you've got that figure from, it is designed to mislead you in the way that it has, you see.
It was the BBC.
Yes, because the businesses, 9% of businesses, you need to know what percentage of exports. Yes. Well, let's do it. Let's Google it now. Yeah?
Yeah, I've not got a computer, mate. I'm really sorry.
It's all right, I'll do it. What percentage of Scottish exports go to the EU? Exports to the rest of the UK accounted for 60% of this overall total, so already we've blown 9% out of the water. So £5.5 billion worth of exports from Scotland go to America, so that won't change necessarily. Export destination, of which EU. So in 2017, £32.4 billion worth of exports internationally, of which 14.9 billion went to EU countries. 81 point, crikey, if you include the UK, you're looking at 48.9 billion.
Okay.
So 9% is utterly meaningless. Do you see why?
Of course, yeah.
Yes. So why did you mention it?
Because that was the figure that I had from the BBC.
And that is why it is so important to dig deeper into these statistics. Because the UK exports to the EU is a similarly small number, and you hear them saying it, only X% of UK businesses actually export to the EU. Because most businesses, a sandwich shop, whereabouts in Glasgow are you at the moment? It's a sandwich shop on the high street is a business that doesn't export to the EU. But what's the bigger employer, the car industry or the sandwich shop industry? These are the things that are beginning to frustrate me now, because people should be pointing this stuff out and they're not. And decent people like David end up on national radio talking twaddle.